engine. This is sick. We play a little bit of day 2, but we're just jumping right in to the logging site. Against the machines. I was so focused on my anger and the turmoil in my head that I didn't really care where I was going. When I snapped out of it, the sun was shining, the village was far behind me. I wasn't sure how I got in there. Anya looked around and said, "What's the plan?" I need to find someone. Cornell. I looked around. Ancient forest, freshly torn clearing. I looked at clearing. The trees are lifeless. I saw a familiar face among the protesters. Cornell was arguing with a woman with gray dreadlocks. The protesters were clearly conflicted. I had business to do. Maybe I could solve the conflict? I want to know I had business to do. I had business to do here or there, so I went towards them. One of the police officers, young and nervous, said something I fully didn't understand. I ignored him. I tried to walk past him. He stepped in my way and slowly assessed me. "Oh," he said, "you're one of them, then let us go." Then I noticed that someone joined us. And then I noticed that someone used the commotion to sneak with us past the police. A girl with disheveled, bleach out hair. "Don't worry," she patted the officer on the arm. It was an awful pickup line anyway. He recoiled. "You shouldn't touch me, ma'am." I smiled. I smiled at her and wanted to say something, but I was interrupted. "Pat," Cornell called her from the gathering. "Could you come here? I need to show you Olga that chart." She sighed, reaching to her backpack and taking out the tablet. And they're at it again. She murmured under her breath and winked at me. "Coming!" We went to the activists. As I walked towards Cornell, I heard more and more of the argument. "Olga, you can't," Cornell was saying. Pat stood next to him with her tablet. She looked a bit amused. "Do not effing tell me what I can or can't do, Cornell." "Burn the harvesters," Cornell asked calmly. "In this drought? Olga, are you out of your mind?" "You know what I mean. We fight them any way we can. Because this is effing war," she spat. "You never seen real war and it shows. Nobody is shooting at us. And believe me, we want to stay that way. We need a peaceful protest." "Hi, we need to talk," I said. "Hello, Maia, could you wait? I'm in the middle of something." I looked at them. I looked at them both, Olga with her fury and passion, Cornell with his cool, professional demeanor, and shared, without any reservations, what I felt about the situation. It wasn't war yet. Holy. I only inflamed the situation. The argument attracted more and more people. Someone old shook their head and moved forward. They had deep wrinkles, a narrow mouth, and a unisex grace of a tired, heroin-preserved rockman. I totally dug their style. They had disheveled hair, clean-shaved, bright blue nails, heavy armor boots. Okay. "Olga, darling, you know I love you, but Cornell really knows what he's doing. Please trust me on that one. Kim is cautious." There's a woman at Olga's side. Next to Olga, there stood a woman, and she was the most beautiful person I'd ever seen. I couldn't help but overhear. Kim, you want me to teach me about violence? She looked them straight in the eyes. About fighting oppression? Just because your boss went to what? One mission in Afghanistan? Her Polish was peculiar, kind of mellow. Cornell winced. Lisa, leave Kim alone. I didn't know what to say, and it seemed that the whole discussion would be derailed. Maybe it was for the best. I didn't let that happen. Hey guys, the forest, the logging, the protests. The conversation was over, at least for the time being. Cornell, together with his cronies, walked toward the reporters while Olga went back to the group of people standing in the shadow of an old oak tree. Pucha is loyal. Ooh. I look at Pucha. The clearing full of felled trees was like a gaping, bleeding wound in the chest of a friend. I had to do something. Goal. Mission. Stop the logging. I looked at my friend. We have to stop this logging. Just like Olga said. And you're not excited. What they're doing is unforgivable. We have to fight. I looked at one group. I looked at the other. What are we gonna do? The logging site. The harvesters were dripped with black oil, and the forest stood tall, serene, and full of golden light. It looked like it could protect itself, and then I looked at the felled trees, dead, limp, helpless. Okay. Let's see. Escalation. Okay, so do we escalate with the police officers, or do we look towards Cornell for the answers? I think we have to kind of make a stand here. Who's Cornell? I don't even know really Cornell, and really I think if this is my story, we gotta take it to the next level. I'm a freaking werewolf, right? That's the name of the game, right? As we approached, Daniel pricked his ears. I could have sworn they moved. Hello, fellow humans, he grinned at us. Who the F do you think you are? She demanded. She stood there with her arm wrapped around the waist of another woman. It was Lisa. She winked at me and mouthed, "It's okay." I didn't care about them. I wanted to act. I don't know, man. Alright, let's do it. Shit. Olga's loyal. Holy shit. This is like Persona. Loyal. I couldn't care less about her opinion. I knew why I was there. Someone has to burn those mother effers. I feel like it's too early to go werewolf time. No? Olga rolled her eyes. I had more time to look at her now. She was wearing combat trousers, sandals, and there was a small silver double-bladed axe hanging on the string around her neck. The Labries. A lesbian feminist symbol. She wasn't hiding where she stood. I mean, I just want to stop the loggers, right? They're clearly doing business on UNESCO protected forest, right? So it's illegal, but we are only the ones that are taking action here. So, and the police aren't doing anything about it. So, I don't know. She acted like she knew something about me. What was her plan? Do you really want to burn the harvesters? I asked. Well, the asshole was right. It's not an option in this drought, but yes, I want to destroy them and stop the logging by any means necessary. Are you ready to help us? I feel like there's something personal going on here, I said bluntly, but I don't even know you. Oh, Maya, but I know about you. When the Pucha is under attack, she reaches out and picks someone. This time, goddess knows why, she picked you to help her. Okay, so I get another willpower. Nice. Nice. I looked at her skeptical, but he seemed to believe it. The question is, she looked at me, pause. Will you do it? Who the heck is Olga? I just met you. What? Ma'am, said an officer whose round face was adorned by a mustache. It was dispersed. But I wasn't easy to intimidate. A spark. I stood shoulder to shoulder with the other protesters as the officers started to approach. Disperse! Repeated the mustached man. I stood my ground. I took a step back. Oh, I stood my ground. I stood there. It's like Detroit 2 Human levels of that protest scene. The activists started to back down. Suddenly, my head was surprisingly clear. I grabbed the megaphone. Woo! Heck yeah! She's all that. Hey, I shouted. The amplified sound stopped everyone in their tracks. Remember what this is all about? I turned to the protester. Are you gonna stand here and let them push you away? For a split second, I was surprised how clear my voice was. The cops were weak. I guess I want to level up my bravery. They do not respect the land, they do not respect the forest, they do not respect us. I mean, what I'm thinking, the cops, they're just doing their job, and the loggers are the one, and the people controlling the loggers are the real culprits. I mean, the cops are just trying to maintain peace. If we, like, set fire on the logging, on the machines, that's arson. What is that? I mean, that's a gray area. There's no right or wrong. It's wrong for the loggers to be there in the first place, but us kind of taking action and... That's when they maced me. No, we lost a health bar. My vision tunneled, and I noticed the cops only advanced after they maced me. Then the cops drew their batons, and the protesters started running. And all hell broke loose. I heard a harsh, menacing voices. I heard screams. I heard people running toward one another. The police crashing into the protesters. Some of them fought back. Some turned and ran, and some sat down on the ground only to be dragged away. Someone suddenly grabbed me from behind. I tried to free myself, but I couldn't. I looked down at the hands that held me. Don't do anything rash, said Olga, dragging me away. You've done enough. This time I kept silent. Like, this is... I don't know. I'm clearly a human. I'm not like a werewolf, right? I can't transform into... This is not Wolverine. So I'm not sure what... I'm not sure, like, what this rage meter... We have to see. I'm not sure if if I'm in, like, werewolf form, then I could do some damage. But no, I can't do shit. I think it's better to be smart about this and not push our luck here. The ugly truth. I have no idea how I ended up on my way back to the village. My eyes were red. I had a runny nose, and my throat hurt from screaming. In the whole commotion, I lost Anya from my sight. I was alone, or so I thought. Hey, let me help you, a voice behind me said, and I jumped. A woman was looking at me with concern. What happened? I got maced. Here, have some milk. You should wash your eyes. It works better than water. We walk slowly toward the village. The press. Oh, I learned that she was an independent German reporter who'd come here about a month ago. Her name was Erica. So why are you protesting logging? She asked after a few minutes of small talk. It was my civic duty. I haven't been here for long, I answered, angrily. But I've already learned that Poland was ruled by a right-wing party who are total climate catastrophe denialist. I feel Polish and I have all the right to protest. I looked at her. And why are you asking? She looked at me with renewed interest. But do you know why they are cutting down the trees? She asked back. Because you do know that logging is done by the government company? The state forest? I had no idea. In fact, I knew very little. Oof. It all started with spruce bark beetles. Erica looked into her notes and started explaining the whole situation. That year, the beetles' infestation was of catastrophic proportions, and the foresters decided that the only way to stop it and to save the rest of the forest was to cut down as many infested trees as fast as possible. But was cutting down the foresters state that this is the only way. Some biologists argue that they are cutting the wrong trees and are doing it too late to change anything. Was the logging legal? Opinions differ, but such a massive logging in a UNESCO-listed area might be illegal, Erica answered. Couldn't they just remove the dead trees? Maybe. If they removed the dead trees, the infestation wouldn't spread. I try to find a solution. They might do that, but dead trees are what make the forest unique. There are 20 times more species living on a dead spruce tree than on a live one. Couldn't they just leave the pucha alone? The situation was more complex than I thought. What was the truth? Stop beating around the bush. What is the truth? It's up to you to decide what you want to do. It was a tough decision. Why did the situation always have to be so complex? At least I was sure that they were cutting down the trees, but the pucha needed my help. It was a matter of principle. The government has the bigger guns, Erica answered. And that's why I stand with the protesters. She looked skeptical. You're not the only one feeling helpless, she sighed. I'm just helping you make an informed choice. I didn't want to listen. So, what was right and what was wrong? I'm not sure like the mechanics of this game or this universe. Like, am I gonna turn to a wolf? Am I gonna kill people? I probably have that option, right? We could do... Wait a minute. Do you believe that people can be evil? She asked back. Some people were bad. We could do bad things for sure. Sure. I admitted my helplessness. I told her about my anger. I'm just trying to find the truth of the forest and where my roots are. But we just kind of got tangled in this Side quest. I felt so helpless when I saw all that. I took a deep breath, and then I remember what Olga had told me. All that mystical stuff. And they said that the forest needs my help. I shook my head. It's a lot to take in. And there was a foul smell back there. She looked at me with a weird expression. What smell? How come she didn't smell it? Because I have, like, amazing smell abilities? The harvesters reeked of something, like meat that's been rotting in acid. I couldn't even find the words to describe it. But the memory of the foulness started to cling back to the back of my throat, swimming in my sinuses. I know what you're talking about, she answered, slowly. But I don't think everybody can smell it. I looked at her and raised my eyebrows questioningly. You'll learn in your own time if you stay here long enough. Okay. What did she mean? What do you mean? You'll learn in time, she said. Okay. I decided to help the forest. Well, duh. I jumped right into the middle of a very tense situation. I just hoped I haven't made things worse. Time to regroup. Anya lost sight of me. I'm glad you're back in one piece. How was your day? I got maced. Oh shit, you alright? I incited some violence. I learned a lot. Did you know that the government supported the logging even when it was illegal? I shared my dismay. Yeah, I read about it, Anya said. I met a lot of new people. Yeah, they look like a colorful bunch. Maybe you can introduce me later. They sure are passionate. It's another day and... Okay, we're gonna figure out how to say this silly word. Białowieża. 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 We sat there in silence. You know, there's more to see here than Białowieża, Anya said from over her travel guide. Bunch of places. There's something interesting in every village. A museum, kind folk, and bison. Maybe like to see something more than the logging. I couldn't see everything. It would be great if I could see everything, but I can't. I want to focus on logging. Even if I miss something else. I share what I learned. Ah, Anya's friendly. They say that when the forest is in need, it reaches out to people. And for some reason, this time it reached out to me. Wow. Anya looked impressed. Honestly, I'm not sure what to think, but if you need something, just let me know. I was tired. I just sat there, looking through the window. The day had been full on and I was exhausted. I fell asleep. I could do anything. It's quiet now, yet I know deep down inside that something isn't run right. I run. I kept walking. I sneak. I run. I'm running through the forest to the logging site. It's getting dark. The light seeps away as though there are millions of tiny punch holes in the sky through which it can escape. And then the darkness starts to pour in. I welcome the darkness. It's thick, oily, snake-like. It wraps around my ankles, caresses my wrist, and then takes my hand and leads me to the site. It's full of maimed books. Maimed bodies. Why did I say books? They're all trees, fallen trees, still alive, still struggling for air. This looks like a Left 4 Dead. This looks like a Left 4 Dead movie poster. And there was a stench. Oh, jeez, but I'm not alone. And there was a stench. I can smell them. The stench is dark, rancid, putrid. There are monsters at the edge of the forest. They have long, skeletal arms. They are wrapped in glistening black intestines, and each arm has a wide, gaping mandible full of whirring blades. They snap at me blindly. Brave, I feel rage pumping in me like molten lava. I charge. With a howl of joy, anticipation, I run towards the shapes and start to destroy. I bite off heads and tear off arms. I am a force of nature. Unstoppable. And then I wake up. Hey, we got 1 health back. Watch this be like, these are not dreams. These are actually happening. She's gonna realize that at the end, I bet. I was alone, the sun was setting, and in the deep red light, the room looked like it was bathed in blood. My pillow was on the ground, gutted, and the duvet was in shreds. The air was full of tiny feathers dancing in the draft from the window. What the F? I ain't gonna say it. I ain't gonna say it. What the F was going on? The Standoff. Chapter 3. Not bad. Let's continue. I need to talk. I couldn't get back to sleep since I arrived in this accursed village. Things had been getting stranger and stranger with every passing hour, and now I ripped a pillow in half in my sleep. Nothing about it was normal. I needed to talk it over with someone I trusted. Anya's friendly. Olga. See, here's the thing. Olga knows something about me that I don't know. Actually, I know. But this person doesn't. Wait, where do I point? This way. So we'll check in with Olga. Olga was local and knew a lot about what was going on, and despite her risque manner, she seemed to accept me. The sun had just set, and the moon wasn't up yet. Damn, bars! The forest loomed on the horizon. The activist camp was somewhere there. I soon ran into Anya. Yo, what up? What up? Oh my, good to see you, she said. We need to talk. I was all ears. I'm worried about you. Since we got here, you look pretty crap. And I could use some support. Ooh, Anya's loyal now. Heck yeah. To be honest, I could really use some support, I sighed. Would you come with me? She said, sure, sister. We walked together. Dude, we got the whole cavalry. Let's go. We got the crew all together now. The camp had a different vibe than the logging site protest. There were more people there. We looked around, trying to take it all in. They're coming. Anya laughed, excited. The people at the camp seemed quite cheerful. Someone was singing. I heard 3 or 4 girls singing together in a unique Eastern European style called the White Voice. It was the most melodic, throaty growling I've ever heard. I lose rage when I listen. Alright. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have... I stopped and just got lost in the music. Okay, dude. I need to see Olga. Well, hello again, she greeted me. I didn't expect to see you here so soon. I tried to rise above it. I took a long breath. I took a long breath, it didn't help. What? And to my surprise, she started to laugh. Her face softened. What brings you here, kid? I was confused. Why do I have to be angry all the